Hello and welcome to the Metapod Podcast, the Pokemon TCG podcast that revolves around the evolving meta. We are not IRL today. We're back in our homes, back from the World Championships, but still a great time. Sean, how are you doing this week?
I'm good. I'm recovered from a long weekend at Worlds. A long plane ride back. For you, a long drive back.
Yeah, long drive. And I drove the whole thing. I left Sunday because like at the end of Saturday, I was like, oh man, like I got a nice headache, nice goose egg, and I'm like, man, I'm tired. And I drove the whole way back as well.
Yep.
Yeah, all the 5 hours or whatever. But it was still a lot of fun. I enjoyed Worlds a ton.
Yeah.
And it was a good time.
I will also say shout out to all the people that we met that came up to us that said hi. It was awesome seeing all of you. And the person that I met at the very end as well. We didn't get a picture together on Sunday, but I don't know, Jake, if you took a look at the picture of the game that we played. It was
That we played?
no, that me and the person that I ran into. Let me see if I can pull. I don't need to pull. Point being, I got to a point where I think they were running. Oh, they were running the Okie Dokie deck, right?
Oh,
Like
that deck is so fun.
it was like a poison petrant line, and at a certain point, they bossed up my Gardevoir EX twice and killed it, right? And I just decided right then and there, I'm going to commit to no more Gardevoir the rest of the game. And I was all in on Klefki. So Klefki in the active meant they couldn't poison, no petulant, no free retreat. So I was trapping things in the active. I trapped the Brute Bonnet in the active because there's no more free retreat because of Petra in the X. And I was like, we're going to win the game this way, baby.
Yeah, that's actually devious.
It was crazy.
Well, I'm glad that you had a fun time in that too. The Metapods for all the or video watchers, your Metapods are on the wall and the various cards that you guys sign. I filled out the wall much more. And anytime you see Sean and I, or well, I guess I'm the only one that has this wall. If you see me at events, whether that's One Piece or Pokemon or whatever, Gundam, anything really, feel free to give me a card to put on the wall. I will put it on the wall. But I will say I did play in a League Cup this weekend, Sean.
How'd you do? Did you play Gardevoir?
I did. I played spoiler alert. We'll talk about the list later. I played Riley McKay's winning 60 from the World Championships because it was really easy to build. I had all the cards and I was like, yeah, I'll just play the Gardevoir. It was a best of 3 cup and it was really fun. There was only one round that I felt God, I wish there were mulligans in this game that, did not leave me with terrible hands. Because I remember I played against a Goldango and he was very nice. He was very kind. But I scooped on after my second turn in game 1, and then game 2, I basically scooped after like 4 turns. I mean, he was just gonna win anyway. It was too far behind, but just could not get a Gardevoir online at all, or even Curlias for that matter. Could not get Curlias online. Which is just a rough rumble. So did not win the cup, but it was fun to play at least. I want to play more Pokemon, at least locally, like cups and challenges at least. So just try to be a little bit more engaged.
Yeah. Well, I mean, speaking of Gardevoir, though, we didn't get to talk about it on the last pod because we recorded before the results, but we do have the final results for Worlds. As predicted, predicted by me, Gardevoir did win once again.
I was going to say, I think I remember saying that, like, I won't say Gardevoir because you said Gardevoir, so I'll say this instead. But yeah, Gardevoir definitely.
Which is also a good pick.
Yeah, I mean, it also got second place. So pretty good stuff coming out of this championship, I think, especially with the huge focus on Goldango, which, by the way, only Piper Lapine in top cut on Goldango in this tournament. Again, just like at like NAIC and stuff, Gardevoir, just when the focus is on somebody else, Gardevoir shoots up and ends up winning the match. So Riley 60. We won't talk too much about these because we do have other news, but I think it's for anyone that just kind of listens to the podcast, maybe you want to know about some things. Some of the things that I really liked in this Gardevoir list, for Monkey Dory, right? That's kind of the standard now, right after
That's
NAIC, now
crazy.
Worlds. That's just the thing that you do. In terms of the other tech options, there is a Mew EX in there. Sean, your beloved Mew EX, so all credit to you on that. There's also Flutter Mane. I think I talked about before the World Championships how, some Gardevoirs might be playing Klefki,
Hmm.
like you were saying against the Okie Dokie deck. But Riley opting for Flutter Mane. And so with that as well, playing one TM Devolution, which I feel like is starting to become standard as well, right? Especially in these Arvin Secret Box packages, you're able to find it pretty easily, and also two rare candies.
Yep. I think the Team Devo is also really good against Goldengo because with
Yes,
4 Monkey Dories, and if you can theoretically even like you pop a little one with a Scream Tail here or a Flutter Mane damage couple there, you can usually set up enough damage counters to then TM Devo all of the Goldengos away, basically.
yeah.
Um,
I mean, you de-evolve them, and then they all die, and you
yeah.
take like 3 prizes in a turn.
So it's a pretty strong play, and it's also theoretically really good in the mirror if your opponent is, if they prioritize the speed of getting their Gardevoir out and they focus on rare candy, the Team Devo can be really devastating, especially if they like, take a few extra prizes early. An Iono into a TM Devo is just like, oh my gosh! If you're the Gardevoir player, you're cooked. So
And especially against just like a lot of evolution decks. I mean, there are so many evolution decks in format right now. Just Team Devo just makes sense, right? As you're saying, with Goldango, it's the same concept the whole way. But kind of other than that, list I feel like is pretty standard in what you see. I know that Pheasantipity sometimes was something that some people left out, right? Wanting to minimize the amount of two prize liabilities. But I personally think Pheasantipity should just be in because it's one of the best cards in the game right now, especially support Pokemon.
yeah, I would agree with that. I mean, yeah, you don't want it to be trapped in the active, right? That is
Hmm.
a fear. And I will say this deck is very vulnerable situationally to things like the water pond, which
Yeah.
we did see early on in the tournament. There was a few matches where I saw where the water pond can wreak havoc because nobody is playing Shaman right now. So
Nobody's playing Shaman, and also, especially Riley, not playing Professor Turo,
no,
right? So if you get something stuck in the active, whether that's like Maractus Lock or Sob Lock, things of that nature on the Water Ogre Pond, then, well, he's stuck.
yeah. So definitely a bit awkward. I think your worst case scenario, if you're in that, is just you accept losing the two prizer, or you power up the Fez and say, hey, if you're going to keep this in the active, I'm just going to start doing 100 damage somewhere every turn.
Hmm.
And if you're only getting hit for 20, your opponent might think twice about letting you just do that,
Yeah.
indefinitely. So, um, but yeah, that's Riley McKay's list, and then Justin Newdorf getting second with, as we mentioned, Dragapult. I'll pull up that list as well. Uh, Justin did opt for the Dragapult variation that you and I both recommended, which was
Hmm.
a variation with Dusknoir. I think we, as well as Justin, probably all clocked that, like, in this tournament, you're not going to be able to beat certain decks, especially Gardevoir, if you don't have the way to take out a Gardevoir plus the
Attack.
Curlia or whatever on the bench all at once.
Hmm.
So, but just coming up short. I think it's just a rough. Did you watch the finals?
I did, and I remember watching it, but it's obviously been a week since we've watched it now. So a little, I should have reviewed it a little bit, but
It was rough
um,
for
I
Justin.
can't remember if it was top four or finals that he prized 3 Dragapults.
I think that might have
Do
been
you
top.
remember that?
It might have been top four, but he did prize 2 drag cloaks in the finals, I believe, in one of the
Yeah.
matches.
So there were a lot of people that in either top four or finals that were like, "Oh my gosh, he prized 3 Dragapults. The game is over. He's lost." And he ended up winning that game because you have the all crazy card in Dustnor Dusclops, right? Because if you prize 3 of them, you got a 50-50 chance to get it off the prizes, and then you're online. But Dracloak is a little bit harder. But that might be one of the reasons. Oh no, he's not playing. I was gonna make that a good transition into he's playing one rare candy, but he's
Huh.
not.
Yeah, yeah.
So manually have to evolve. There's no TM Evo either in this deck. More often than not, instead of TM Evo plays, you're going into Itchy Pollen Budu, right? Dragapult being
Yep.
one of the only decks to play multiples of that. The Hilda from Black Bolt White Flare opting into this deck. And I really, really like this card, Sean, and especially in this deck, being able to find an evolution Pokemon, which could be Dusknoir, could be Dusclops, could be Dracloak, could be Dragapult, but also finding any energy whatsoever. It's not just a basic energy, it's also the Neo Upper energy, the Ace Spec of choice. It's also the Luminous energy, right? You may be wondering why Luminous energy. Sean, there's a one of Monkey Dory in this
Of
list.
course there is. This is always Monkey.
Everybody should just play Monkey Dory. Like, that's just the thing.
Just best deck in form. Actually, I don't know, Jake. Can you see back there? Probably not. Hold on.
I see the Gardevoir and the Monkey Dory. I don't know if viewers on the screen or watching the video version can see it, but I could see it.
I would just say it was written in the stars. I picked this up at one of the first regionals after Gardevoir came out, and then at Worlds before the results, I picked this up. And
Yeah.
so I got to get a new profile picture with these two.
Yeah. I'm going to actually, while I'm editing this podcast, I'm going to take a little screenshot
Okay.
of that and then send
Great.
it to Sean. But yeah,
That's
I
so
mean,
good.
Monkey Dory just working out very, very well within this format with the small bodies, with Dragapult being able to spread damage, right? Could be the thing to help you kind of reach above the threshold. And also something that I've just found out playing a little bit more is just it's really nice to have the knockout guaranteed pretty much when you have a Monkey Dory on field on a Budu.
Yep.
Just any time on the field. I mean, I usually, and what I recommend is leave Budu alone until the very end of the game. Don't get greedy and take that
Yep.
prize right away. Make that bench spot like filled up for the most part. But in this as well, opting for 2 jamming towers. I know some people were thinking a lot about like, should you include jamming towers? Should you not? What's the count? And I really like 2 because I think there are definitely some good tools in format. It's almost like a tool scrapper in a sense.
Yeah.
Um, and we love tool scrapper on this podcast.
Yep. Yeah, I mean it's a really cool list. Like Justin played very, very well. Obviously got second at Worlds, so
Yeah.
did quite well. The finals match was rough because like I said, one of his matches, 2 of his Dragcloak were prized, so he was like on the back foot the whole time. And his opponent Riley was able to find the Screamtails, and between Screamtail and Monkey Dory, the pressure was just extreme. So like even if you're able to like get into a Dragapult, well, with Gardevoir being able to hit for weakness, copy the attack with Mew EX, once everything gets wiped out, there's really not much more you can do as the Dragapult player. So
Mhm.
I think it was a rough series for Justin. I don't think it's wildly surprising. Like you can beat Gardevoir with the deck, but I don't think it's a favorable matchup regardless. So
I will say as well, Justin, shout outs to Justin, a big Pokemon TCG live player and a recent master into the space. So especially all you that listen to the podcast, that really just play TCG live, maybe you don't travel to a lot of regionals and stuff. Just know there is value in testing on live, which is really, really nice. And I remember hearing in an interview uh prior to the finals that Justin and Riley actually tested with each other on like Wednesday or Thursday
yeah,
night.
yeah, they both knew each
And
other's decks very well.
yeah, and Riley gave recommendations to Justin on like different techs that he should add. I can't remember what the tech was that I remember there was something in the interview that Riley said I gave him a good card for the Gardevoir matchup, and they were like, "Are you worried about it?" And he's like, "Yeah, because I know it's there," and I gave it to him.
uh
And I can't remember for the life of me. Was it Halucha? It might have been Halucha.
It might have
Because I
been,
know
yeah.
Hawlucha has kind of been, like, out of some Dragapult decks, like, the bench spot is just that important, at times, but anyways, very, very cool to see these 2 guys go at it, 2 young kids, in my opinion,
Yeah.
of the Pokemon trading card game. Very, very nice for the Masters division and also the future of the game. Sean, let's talk about one more list, and it was kind of the list heard around the world. Let's look at Mateus's Zoroark EX.
Yeah.
There were 2 Zoroark EX that made it into top 8 of the tournament, and as mentioned, a 4/4 line of Zoroark, 3 Monkey Dories, right? You're already playing Dark Energies. There's a lot of kind of spread decks that put pings everywhere. I actually genuinely think that Monkey Dory actually makes a lot of sense in this
Yes. You're playing dark.
deck.
It's not like a weird, like, what's Monkey doing in here? Like Dragon Ball.
Yeah,
But yeah.
which is also really, really funny. Not opting for the Darmanitan at all in
Yep.
this deck. So I know a lot of times what we've talked about with the Enzorark deck prior to the World Championships had been alongside Darmanitan and stuff, but out of the other Ends Pokemon, only opting for Ends Reshiram, which I thought was actually really interesting.
Yep.
Not having that Darmanitan in there for that spread. But included some other support Pokemon cards in here that I think may have shocked some people or maybe not expected to be in the Zoroark deck heading into the World Championships. You have Wellspring Mask Ogerpon and Cornerstone Ogerpon EX as options within this deck.
Yeah. I mean, they're both pretty crazy. I think if you think about the Wellspring, you're not playing any sort of rainbow energy and you're not playing water. So the attack that you're using with that is literally just Sob. So
Mhm.
you're playing it to trap something in the active. And I think with the Monkey Dory, say, hey, any amount of damage you're doing to this Wellspring Mask, if you can't KO it instantly, I'm just going to throw that damage right back at you.
Oh, yeah.
And the Cornerstone Mask is interesting, though, because there is one fighting energy. And Jake, what does the Cornerstone Mask do? If you to remind people who haven't, for whatever reason, played against it recently.
If you do not remember what Cornerstone Mask Ogerpon EX says, it has the Cornerstone Stance ability, which prevents all damage from attacks done to this Pokemon by your opponent's Pokemon that have an ability. So you kind of think about a lot of the decks in format. You think about Gardevoir, you think about Charizard, right, which
Mm-hmm.
was pretty prevalent. Goldango, right? I'm pretty sure Goldango like can't do anything against that once that hits the field. And even Dragapult, right, as you're not one-shotting the Cornerstone Mask Ogerpon without any extra damage pings or Duskull kind of KOs, well, you don't have to use that Ogerpon. You can just use Enzorark to copy En's Reshiram for the knockout.
Yeah.
So really cool to see this Ogerpon in the deck, and especially with Technical Machine Turbo Energize in this deck. I remember watching some of the stream matches for Mateus. I believe a former world champion, by the way,
Hmm.
or maybe top. He's definitely been in a high position at Worlds before. I can't remember, and it might be that he won seniors or juniors, if my memory is correct. I'm trying to think like 2018 ish.
Uh, yeah, it could have. He definitely won a regional in Stuttgart.
Oh, maybe I'm just
Um,
thinking of the. No, I feel like it was like a
let's see.
while ago
It might
that
have
it
been.
happened.
I'm looking back. It doesn't say anything here, but he got sixth in the world. Oh, that's this year. I'm losing it. Uh,
Anyways, we're both
yeah.
losing it. Mateus, a great player, known to the main stage, but Turbo Energize, I saw several times in this game using this TM to put the basic energies on the Cornerstone Mask Ogerpon. And that's really, really nice, right? Not only can you put some energies on the Enzorark, but you can get that one of fighting energy within your deck on that Ogerpon, get another energy on it, and then with an attachment of some sort, be able to use that demolish 140 damage right away.
What's also interesting about the Cornerstone is I'm sure there were some people that were probably a little concerned about Crustle coming into this, and that demolish attack has a shred effect. So Crustle can't prevent the damage, but the Cornerstone Mask's ability prevents it taking damage from the Crustle. So it's
Yeah.
actually, in theory, like a really good card in that matchup in particular. So yeah,
Yeah, I
pretty
mean
interesting.
Charizard EX can't do anything.
No.
Crustle can't do anything. Goldengo can't really do anything. They can attack with the Scizor, but you always just get around that because, well, I mean, they have to evolve into it, and then you just kind of one shot it a lot of times, or at least stall out the game enough that it doesn't matter. Like it was a really interesting thing that I don't think would be as good after the World Championships, right? As people kind of know about this technology, but I think was one of those secret decks that it's like, oh, I'm not ready for this, and it was the perfect time to play it.
Yeah, and I will say Gabe Fernandez in the senior division got
Mhm.
second with an Enzorark deck.
Yeah.
So Enzorark definitely, like, some people called us out in the Spotify comments, Jake. It was not on our radar. We did not put it on our tier list because, frankly, I did not consider it a deck that people were going to play at a high level. That's
Yeah.
not to say that it, I think I even said in the comments, I was like, I don't know, maybe it's like a halfway good deck, but nobody's playing it. Um, Clearly, a few people had very good results with the deck, which, I mean, I can understand it kind of, but like the Enzorark, it just baffles me. You only have one
Well,
attacker.
I think my big thing was that I was so headstrong on it being with Enstar Manitan. Because you're
Oh
right.
yeah,
Like the Enzor arc, right? You're copying an attack, and can you use Reshiram's attack just like every time? But you also saw Gabriel Fernandez, right, running a Toad School line
yeah,
in it. The Toad School with the Slime Mold Colony ability to where your opponent can't put cards into their hand by an effective an ability or trainer. So like stopping Goldengo, like we saw in that seniors final, like how cool that deck could actually be. So yes, I did not have Zorak on my radar, but Zorak was much different than what I anticipated it,
yeah.
whether it was in the Masters division or, the seniors division. And the juniors division, though, did not have any. There was much more Grimmsnarl in the juniors division, which Grimmsnarl, yeah, especially in Masters, what's the highest placing Grimmsnarl? I have 40th,
Mm,
Sean.
yikes. I mean, maybe
Yeah.
Grimmsnarl has a bad Goldengo matchup. Maybe I'm not sure, but
I just think it's kind of what I said on the podcast. Like, even though I thought it was like a really, really good deck, I feel like it wasn't as flexible. It's not as flexible as like Gardevoir or Dragapult Dusknoir or really even Goldengo, because Goldengo with that max damage cap. So I think it's just much more easy to exploit
yeah.
overall. But I will say I thought it would do better than that for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I did too. Because look, you think about why did Zoroark and Charizard do well? Partially because they're hitting for weakness against the best deck, which is Gardevoir. So, like, if you're playing the End Zoroark, you're like, well, I'm gonna play it like a toolbox deck. If I come across a Gardevoir, I have End's Reshiram to one hit KO the EXs. Fine. Everything else, I'm just going in there with either Blood Moon or Saluna, or you know, Cornerstone Mask or Wellspring Mask. Some of these other weird cards that you don't really see as much of. So it was interesting seeing that as like,
Yeah, it
oh,
was just
okay,
like on paper, it doesn't look like it really works out, but like in practice, when you're actually in the format, that's a whole other thing, which is one of the reasons why they did so well.
yeah. But Jake, I think that's all we're going to talk about for Worlds 2025 results. I will say that I expect the meta to be shaken up dramatically with the release of Mega Evolution.
Hmm.
And we can talk about a few of those cards here in a second. But before we get into that, I did want to mention some of the other news that was announced, which was they announced, because we were like all guessing, like, what are they going to announce, right? What's the new card mechanic? Usually that's what they do. But this year, the majority of the focus was on the fact that next year's World Championships um, will be accompanied with a new convention that is running simultaneously called Pokemon XP um, in San Francisco. So think of Pokemon XP as Pokemon Con. Just think about it like that. It's a fan convention for everybody who, you know, Jake, you and I were there. A lot of the people who went to Worlds were not necessarily going because they were really into the competitive scene. They were going because they want to
Mm,
like do the autograph signings and Pokemon Center
Go to
and
the
all that.
Pokemon Center.
Yep.
That's the only thing you need to say. I
Yep.
mean, it was very cool that they had all this stuff there, but there were so many people there for the Pokemon Center. It was
Yep.
crazy.
So Pokemon XP next year is going to have a Pokemon Center, but it'll also have a lot of the other side things that Worlds had, which are activities and panels, autograph sessions, card shops. So a lot of the vendors are going to be at Pokemon XP and not necessarily at Worlds officially. But Jake, I know usually every year we have to wait till forever to find out if we can get tickets. What are the details for Pokemon XP?
So multi-day passes for this will cost $120 USD for adults and 70 for kids. Multi-day pass with access to an arena on Championship Sunday will cost 150 for adults and 120 for kids, with the prices going up $30 in the future. Probably that just means like the week before Worlds or something, or maybe like a couple months before Worlds, when they around the timeline that they opened up the Worlds interest list
Mm-hmm.
this year is when I expect that to go on. So already interesting enough. So as you're saying, runs side by side, kind of runs right in with the actual World Championships because it can allow you entry to the arena on Championship Sunday, which I actually think is really neat. If you want to get your tickets, though, for the World Championships held from August 28th to August 30th in the Moscone Center, tickets will go up on presale on September 17th. And by the way, convention will host a Pokemon Center, right?
Yep.
So you can imagine how maybe you want to go. And when we say September 17th, we're talking like literally in 2 weeks,
Yep.
2, 3 weeks for this. So really crazy that it's like 11 months in advance that we have to get these tickets, which I think is actually kind of neat, right? Because it helps some people like organize travel a little bit better than maybe this year or something like that. Cause it was in June when the interest lists were pushed out of like, yeah, you're in, or oh no,
Yeah.
you're not in. Sorry.
Something like that. Yeah.
Um,
And keep in
so it'll
mind too, that
be,
was for like spectator badges, which this
yeah.
I will also say is different. So I don't know, like it gets you access to the Pokemon XP event, which is separate. It's at a convention center. It
Mhm.
does not necessarily get you access to the World Championships for day 1 and day 2. Only towards the championship Sunday at the arena if you pay the extra. So I will
Which
say it's different.
I'm a little worried about this in general because, like, for me, yeah, I want to go to the Pokemon Center. I want to go to the autograph sessions. I want to go to the card shops, right? So Pokemon XP feels like a great idea. I want to go to Championship Sunday. So sure. But does that allow me to like still play in side events at the World Championships? Are they going to just forego the side events and put it into Pokemon XP? Which would kind of maybe make sense. We don't know the details of that yet. That's just thought hypothetical. But I would really hope that if I buy the weekend pass for $150, right, for myself, that I can still like go to the venue if the side events are over there, and I won't have to buy like a separate pass just to get into that side of the venue.
I don't know. It's hard for me to say, but my gut
We'll find
kind of,
out as time
yeah.
goes on.
If I had to
Yeah.
guess, I would guess that everything that isn't the actual event and the seats for spectating the event, because there is a big area to just watch the screens, right?
Yeah.
My guess is that everything that isn't one of those two things will be held in the convention center part, which will be part of Pokemon XP. And
Mhm.
so what may happen is that the day 1 and 2, because the center will be more full of competitors, that actual spectator passes will be far more limited this next year. Because they're going to be like, well, the space is reserved mostly for the players with maybe like a couple thousand seats for people to watch. And then that will mean that the spectator badges will be limited, maybe even just to competitor friends and family for day 1 and 2. and then
Yeah.
everything else will be Pokemon XP, which will be the convention center, which is these passes. That's I don't know exactly how they're going to do it, but that would be my gut as to like the way to do it.
Yeah, and again, nothing is official on that front of what it is. I hope that we get more information before these pre-sale tickets go up because it would just be crazy to me if like I'm spending $150 for this XP event and like I don't really know exactly I don't need to know everything that happens in it, but if I have to also buy the spectator thing, do I still want to go to XP? Are there going to be limitations that only people with these XP tickets can go into the Pokemon Center and do a thing in the Pokemon Center? Because this year you didn't have to have a spectator pass
No.
to get into the Pokemon Center. So it's I hope that more information comes. It's like literally 3 weeks away. And we'll also, I put a reminder in my phone calendar. So on the tickets go up on like a Wednesday, which is so weird. September 17th. It's a Wednesday. So on that week's episode, we will remind you of the XP tickets going on sale. And hopefully you listen to the episode on Tuesday. So then you get that reminder.
Oh, and Jake, I think will you be in Dallas as well on the 17th? Where because that's where I'll be.
I won't be in Dallas yet.
Okay.
I am probably not coming to Dallas until the 18th
Okay. Because I
because
was
the
like,
tournament starts on Friday.
yeah, yeah. I was like, I mean, I'll be there anyway, seeing family, but it does sort of run awkwardly into Bandai Fest, which doesn't matter to most people, but you know.
Yeah, it's just weird though that it's on a Wednesday.
Yeah.
That's all
I
I'm gonna
mean,
say.
the Pokemon Center drops are always on a weird time though. So what this isn't new.
Yeah,
So
you know what? Actually, you're right.
at least they're telling us the date as opposed to shadow dropping these tickets.
Yeah, that man, the shadow
um,
dropping is crazy.
some of the other news, there was a lot of news that came out at the World Championships. I'm not going to go into all of it, but the other news that I do want to talk about, Jake, is we did get some reveals for both the new megas
Hmm.
and some new art. Jake, where do you want to let's start just with the new megas and then we'll talk about the art separately. Um, I think as we might have predicted, or at least I predicted in person, I was like, there'll probably be a Mega Charizard reveal. And because we know that Mega Dragonite exists, there's maybe going to be a Mega Dragonite card. I literally said that word for word. And that's what we
Yeah.
got. But Jake,
Uh, so Mega Charizard X
yeah,
EX was revealed, implying, in my opinion, that there's eventually going to be a Mega Charizard
it's
YEX,
true.
but we don't know that yet. That is just an assumption.
I'm
But
looking at the old
anyways,
Mega Charizard. Yeah, the old Mega Charizard doesn't say X, it just says Mega Charizard.
oh yeah,
So,
but there was a Mega Charizard Y.
oh, was there? There might have been.
Yeah, there still was because
Oh,
I
okay.
remember a full art of it. But anyways, so Mega Charizard X EX, 360 HP, Fire type Pokemon. It's a stage 2, by the way, which evolves from Charmeleon. I'm gonna keep bringing that up because that's so dumb. Anyways, it's a 2 retreat cost, weak to water because it's a fire type Pokemon. Has a 2 energy attack similar to the Charizard EX Terra Dark type on there, but this does 90 damage. Discard any amount of fire energy from among your Pokemon, and this attack does 90 damage for each card you discarded in this way. So uncapped damage, does 90 each. Uh,
Crazy.
yeah, pretty strong, especially when you pair it with the Oricorio. Possibly. They revealed also an Oricorio EX, 190 HP, basic support Pokemon, 1 retreat cost. Don't worry about the attack, it doesn't matter, but it has the ability of Excited Turbo. As often as you'd like during your turn, if you have any Fire Mega Evolution Pokemon EX in play, you may use this ability. Attach a basic fire energy card from your hand to one of your benched Pokemon. So we have a Deluge Oricorio
As a
in the
basic.
game as a basic, right? Deluge is usually on a stage 2. I'm talking like Baxcalibur. I'm talking like Blastoise. This is a basic Pokemon. That's worth 2 prizes, right? So there is that. It's 190 HP. It's a little small, but you get to have an uncapped amount of damage potential into Charizard EX. Mega Charizard X EX. I'm sorry. I'll try to say the whole thing every
Yeah.
single time. Uh, which is crazy. Now, Mega Charizard X EX. I'm gonna hate saying that for the next 3
God.
years. Um, that is worth 3 prizes. So it's a big guy. It's a big, tough guy. And Oricorio only works if you have a Mega Fire Evolution Pokemon in play. So it's not like you can use Oricorio in any fire deck whatsoever. It has to specifically have the Mega in it.
Mhm.
So that's a really interesting combo to come into the game.
I, I've seen people with different takes on this.
Mhm.
Mega Charizard. Some people saying that they don't think it's gonna be that good, and I don't know. I could be wrong. This attack seems cracked. It just seems
It
like I, I understand that it's
I
a
think
three
it's
prizer.
good. Yeah.
It's a three prizer. The Oricorio technically only goes to one of your benched fire Pokemon, but like whatever. I don't know. Like to me,
Mhm.
like that's not gonna be your issue. Um, I think the fact that this Mega Charizard has an uncapped damage, you can pair it with Charizard EX, the Dark
Yeah.
type. So now you have not only do you have two typing coverages theoretically, but you also have a Pokemon that before you even get the Oricorio out, you can power itself or others up. So this deck would effectively have two ways of accelerating energy, one from the deck, the other from hand. And I don't know if people are going to play the 151 Charizard EX with this.
Doesn't that do like 300 damage or something like
It
that?
does 330,
Yeah.
which if you think about like the downside of Mega Charizard X EX is that while you can do unlimited damage, if it's a really good deck, people will play it and then they can do that same right back to you and you're going to give up, 3 prizes. But the
Mhm.
Charizard EX from 151 does 330. So if you have any damage modifier like a uh defense like well a thing that adds 30 damage. I can't remember it off the top of
Yeah.
my head, but there are damage modifiers out there. Uh
Monkey Dory.
Monkey Dory. Honestly, this Jake, the stadium that says stage 2 Pokemon in play of 30 less HP.
Yeah, Gravity Mountain.
You could play this Charizard EX with the Mega Charizard X as well, and then you could
Because it's a
take
stage 2.
exactly, you could take a 3 prizer with only a 2 prizer in the active because the problem with this one was it required 4 energy and you had to discard 3 of them to do the attack. Well, now with Oricorio, so long as you have a Mega in play, you're fine. I I think that a Charizard deck of some kind is going to be very strong. Um, I just remember back to the Reshiram and Charizard GX days, and
Well, that deck flopped.
that deck was a top tier deck for like 6 months
Oh,
in
I'm
Unbroken
sorry. I was thinking
Bonds.
of Reshiram and Zekrom. I'm sorry. I'm
No, no,
sorry. Yeah,
Reshiram and
Reshiram
Zekrom was
Charizard. Yes, good
yeah,
deck. Yeah.
Reshiram and Charizard though, like if you got 6 energy,
Reshiram was on 2 Tag Team GXs. Can we
it
talk about that?
was
Hold
yes,
on. What?
and
Anyways,
Charizard was on
continue.
2 tag teams. It was Charizard and Blaziken, I think the other one or something like that.
Breakson.
Breakston, yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, you get what I mean.
Anyways, tangent.
But like that deck, people went through the trouble of getting 6 energy on that Charizard to do 300. You don't think people are going to go through the trouble of getting 4 energy out to do 360? I don't know. I just
Well, here's the thing, like, back in that format as well, where you're talking about Reshiram Charizard, we had Welder in format,
mm-hmm.
we had Giant Hearth in that format,
It
we
was
had
good.
Fire Crystal in that format, we had Fiery Flint in
Yeah.
that format. We had a lot of things that really interacted with we had a lot of trainers, I should say, that interacted with fire energy where I don't necessarily think we have that now.
Jake, we have it. We have Earth and Vessel. We have Superior Energy Retrieval. We have Energy Retrieval. There's so much.
Oh, you know what? Maybe we kind of do.
It's
Yeah, maybe we
cracked.
kind of do.
Just wait for them to reprint Giant Hearth alongside this Oricorio EX in the set.
I think reprinting Giant Hearth would actually be a huge mistake. I hope they don't do it. If
I
it's
don't know.
Giant Hearth, I
They
hope
don't
you have
need
to
to.
trash a card in order to use the effect
You
to
did,
get.
yeah.
No, you didn't have to before.
Oh, did you
You
not?
just
Maybe
got 2
not.
fire
No.
energies.
Yeah,
No,
like
I hope that if they do reprint it, it does have a trash one, grab 2 energies,
oh, okay,
grab 2
okay.
fire energies.
Yeah, like Fiery Flint was genuinely broken. It was like an Ultra
That
Ball where
card
you
was
grabbed
crazy.
4 fire energy. That's not. And
Yeah.
Fire Crystal was
And
also
then
nuts.
Fire Crystal
It
just
was
grabbing 3 from the discard for free.
yeah.
Man, but that was very fun playing Salazzle Unknown Hand.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that deck was funny.
Rip rip to the to the
Rip to
old
the greats.
yeah. But anyways, I don't know. What do you think about the deck? Do you think this card is
I think
cracked?
Mega I think it's going to be fine. I think it might just really be like a it's just weird cuz like do you have a Charizard box in there? Like you have to play TM Evo
Mhm.
probably. You have to play Rare Candy. So you're like an Arvin style. Do you still run Pidgeot because Pidgeot's a
It's
great
a good question.
card?
Yeah.
You know, with the different spots that you have in like the Charizard Pidgeot deck right now, right? If you're trying to run that Charizard, like you have to squeeze in the Oricorio, you have to squeeze in the Mega Charizard, right? And you have to squeeze in that Charizard, the 151 Charizard that you're referring to, and like
Maybe.
I don't see a deck list right now that's like overly broken without having to take away a lot of the highlights of Charizard Pidgeot.
Yeah.
Because I think that's kind of like your base of where you start with, you know, trying to input these Charizards is you take that deck because that's a good deck. We didn't talk about any of the lists, but at the World Championships, that had a couple really good placements in there. It did perform. Um, so I just I don't think it's overly broken. I think it will be present because I think you can pick and choose kind of your tech options in like a Charizard Pidgeot deck. Like, because you really only need one Mega. You really only need maybe one or a Choreo. So that's 2 spots. Where do you put those 2 spots? That's the other question. But it kind of gives you that flexibility to be able to do some of those things. Because especially with maybe like Charizard Mega Charizard X EX, uh, y- you don't struggle getting the damage output in the early game like you do with Charizard EX, right?
Yep.
The Dark type Terra. There's too many freaking
Now,
Charizards, Sean.
Jake, I have a question for you. Do you
Yeah.
play this? Isn't there a Magmortar? There's a new Pokemon that came out recently
There's an
that
Embor.
well, there's an Emboar that accelerates the energy, right?
Yes.
But then there's a card that came out recently that does it's another unlimited damage based on the amount of fire energy something.
Is it in Black Bolt White Flare, you think?
Might be. I can't remember. There is. It might have been in the set before. Oh man, I
I
feel
can't think of it
I
off
feel
the
like there
top
was
of
a
my
card
head.
recently that we talked about with Embor would be really good, and maybe it's Magmortar, maybe it's like it's one of those other again fire type attackers, but someone in the comments will remind us. But I do think you could also run the Mega Charizard EX and Oricorio in a deck that has a single prize attacker that just needs a lot of energy acceleration, right?
Yeah.
Because then you have all the energy acceleration. You can operate a little bit like Gardevoir EX in that you're mostly sending up a single prize attacker for your attacks. But situationally, you can also send the Mega Charizard up if you need to. So I can't remember what the Pokemon was off the top of my mind, but there's
I'm
something.
trying to find it and I can't think of it.
But Jake, there was one other Mega they did announce that I do want to mention briefly, and that is
Mhm.
Mega Dragonite EX got announced. Oh, that is incorrect. That's not what I wanted. Okay. Mega Dragonite EX did get announced. It's a 370 HP Dragon type. It has an ability, Sky Transport. Once during your turn, you can use this ability. You can switch your active with one of your bench. It's a free switch on an ability. I think that's kind of fine. I don't know. We have Air Balloon. They reprinted Air Balloon. Why would they? Yeah, this feels weird.
Hey, use it with whatchamacallit? The
Blood
Iron
Moon.
Valiant
Oh,
or the one that is it Iron Valiant that pings the damage counters every time it's in the active? You can put 2
you
damage counters on a Pokemon.
you could if you had Iron Valiant, Latios, and like this
Free
or
switch.
whatever. It's a free switch. Like seems
Yeah.
like a lot of
More
work to get a
pings.
stage 2 up to
It is.
do that. And then the attack, I will also say, is personally, I feel like a little underwhelming too. Reuno Glide does 330 for water, lightning, and then you have to discard 2 energy. I don't know, like it's definitely
You
you could
think that's underwhelming?
I considering we just
330
looked
is
at
huge.
Mega Charizard X,
Sure.
and I'm also like, do you know what they printed this year, Jake? Lily's Clefairy.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean,
what are we doing, Pokemon? You've
but
made
370 HP. That means that you have to hit
190.
what is it? Yeah, you have to hit 190,
Uh-huh.
which is the Gardevoir, actually, exact math. But
What are we doing, Pokemon? I think they
I think that 330 is really good,
I look,
especially
330
when we
is a
have
good number.
Crispin, Joltik Box.
It's true. 330 is not a bad number. I don't want to, but I struggle. I'm like stuttering. Like I struggle with where this goes because I'm like, it's a stage 2. What am I doing with this stage 2? And I will say this, Jake. All of these megas, you know what they got me thinking? They got me thinking, boy, howdy. You know what I could go for right now? A nice Tatsugiri EX deck where I just flip over a bunch of megas and put them onto
Oh,
my bench.
yeah. That's
Yeah.
actually really funny. Hold on, wait, you're cooking.
I mean, I think it's getting easier and easier because we have a lot of support for a lot of different energy acceleration now that we didn't have before. And so, like, it might be worth it with Tatsugiri EX if you could throw a bunch of like really interesting random things out where before it was kind of like, well, it's like a toolbox, but it's kind of weird. I don't know.
Definitely a funny concept. I think Charizard probably just better than Dragonite, I will say, out of the break. And the arts look really cool too. They
Yeah.
showed off some of the new secret rare typings. They're the Mega Attack rare that we're seeing in these. I don't know how Japan is getting them.
They're getting them
Uh,
with the Inferno X, the English word across the top.
okay, so I was gonna say because like the Mega Symphonia already came out, or the Mega Set already came out in Japan.
Oh,
So I
you
was
mean
like,
like
how are they
how are
getting
they
these?
getting them? Yeah.
Yeah, like how are they getting these alternate arts? I have no idea.
I wonder
Mega
if this will
Charizard EX
be
will debut in Inferno EX. Yeah. Um,
I wonder if they're going to get them in their high class pack set maybe,
I have no idea.
which they are getting
Uh,
that in a couple of like in like 3 months or something.
the timeline is real weird, but these
Yeah.
alternate arts very reminiscent, or the secret rare arts very reminiscent of the old school Mega EXs, where it's got kind of like the attack. These have the attack name written on the top in the hiragana in there, and then in Japanese they have the English um of that, which is the same thing that they did back in 2016, right, when the megas were first introduced into the card game.
Yep. I will say the arts on this look amazing though.
Yeah, they look great. They look like they're from like manga or like comic books.
Yeah.
I like them a lot.
Yeah, it'll be interesting because we did get one for Mega Gardevoir, but Mega Gardevoir also has an SIR to your point. So like I'll be interested to see like which of those I think that this version will probably be more sought after, but I don't know, I could be wrong.
Yeah.
Um
I know a couple of people were clowning on it, but it looks like an anime right
it looks
here.
cool.
I
The
think
colors
they look better than the original. Because
I
the
agree.
wording, I think the word is a little bit more awkward in its placement, where this one just kind of feel like it fits better.
Um but yeah, those are the big reveals at Worlds. There was other stuff as well. Pokemon Pocket is getting megas. Um Eternatus VMAX literally was at the convention center that night.
Mm-hmm.
So people were freaking out, and that was interesting. But that's all the news from Worlds. We have a couple of other minor news articles, Jake.
I think
Um,
some of it's not that minor.
I mean, I guess the Team Rockets collection is not particularly minor. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, there's this new premium collection that's coming out. We always talk about the ultra premium collections. This being Team Rocket's Moltres, releasing in November for $120. If you do not know what you get in these premium collections, you get a playmat, you get a deck box, which I don't think fits sleeved cards. It's only unsleeved cards, I think, historically. Anyways, you get dice, markers, things of that nature, packs, and some promo cards. And the promo cards this year, which I think are really interesting, are three different variations of Moltres EX: the regular art, the full art, but also the special illustration rare. That's right, the actual special illustration rare, the exact same thing except with a stamp on it of, I think it says Destined Rivals on it. The stamp, all three cards have the Destined Rivals kind of set stamp, but they're reprinting the alternate art and putting it in this box, which I think is kind of wild personally, because I don't think they've I think they've always made like unique alternates
Yeah.
for at least the some of the promos in there, or they've had like, haven't they had like metal cards in there at one
Yeah.
point
Yeah, they've done
or
metal
something of the sort?
cards. But usually if it's not a metal card, you're right. They do some alternate art treatment of some sort.
Hmm.
So the fact that we're just getting the SIR straight up, and it may have a different stamp on like the bottom or like indicator for like, oh, this one came from the special set.
Yeah, it
But
has the Destined Rivals stamp on it.
like I don't know, man. I with modern cards, I don't know if that will bring the price of the original SIR down significantly because
Do you want to know what's happened in the last 2 weeks of the price of that card?
has it collapsed?
It has gone from $180 on August 17th through the 19th to right now $138. We are recording this on August 25th.
Oof.
So in 1 week, it has tanked $50.
I would tell people now, unless you're holding for the long term, if you got them, sell them because
Hmm.
what'll probably happen is this will come out, the price will completely tank across the board. And then maybe 2 years later, when the ultra premium is no longer in stock anywhere, all of them will start going back up again. But that's a long wait. That's
As
crazy.
someone who does not own this card but wants to own this card, I love this.
Yeah, that's
It's
true.
going to make it way easier for me to own this. But I thought it was really interesting, just in general, that they did this because I don't think they've really done this before
I think
in these premium collections.
I'll be interested to see if they do this again next year at any point, because if they do, I do think it will have a very calming effect on SIRs because people aren't going to know, like, oh, are they going to, like, whatever the Chase SIR is, are they going to reprint it in like a special collection? And if they do, so it'll be interesting to see if Pokemon is just doing this because they needed to make a special set, but they didn't have any way to get new art, or if this is
Hmm.
like their new thing going forward, which we'll see.
I would appreciate it either way. And also in this, it does come with 18 packs. If you do not know,
Good.
I didn't mention that before, which is always really nice. And these cards, these promo cards that we're talking about with the Moltres, it is not like metal or whatever. These are legit cards that you'll be able to play with like in your decks, which I
Yeah.
think is kind of the big point of it all.
Yeah. If you're for some reason playing this in a deck, I
Mm.
mean, I will say,
Hey, there was a hold on, I gotta look at the exact placement. There was a Moltres deck that placed 31st, Alex Szymanski. Or I'm sorry, Nathan Spry is 32nd.
oh, well, I mean, still, like, I will say that
Yeah, top 32 did better than Grimmsnarl.
Evil Incarnation, oh, Incineration, not Incarnation. Evil Incineration is a really annoying attack. Discard a Team Rocket's energy. If you do, discard your opponent's active Pokemon and all attached cards.
Oh wait, you know what? I need to
Were you talking about Ethan's Ho-Oh?
walk. Yeah, I was talking about Ethan's Ho-Oh.
Yeah,
Never mind. It's a
I
bad
was
card.
like,
It's a bad card.
that's the legendary bird I would think might had a good result,
Never
but
mind. Never mind. I hope you all forget about the last 10 seconds.
I will say if they ever reprint or print a way to get the Team Rocket's energy back from the discard again, like a Silene or something, I actually do think this is a viable control deck in the future. But for now, you can only do it 4 times, and so good luck with that. So,
Mhm.
but Jake, last little piece of news before we sign off. We are getting yet again another Trick or Trade Halloween pack this fall. But news for this year is that it may feature exclusive cards.
If you've never heard of the Trick or Trade booster bundles, it's basically little mini like 3 card packs that Pokemon puts, like 40 packs or something in this bag. And you can give it out as like trick or treating and things like that. And they come with the same versions of cards, just with a Halloween Pikachu stamp and like maybe some foiling on it. I have some of them. I love them. I have a Monkey Dory one, talking about Monkey Dory again. And they've done this for the last couple years. And if you're interested in trying to get it again this year, it will contain 35 mini packs for $15 each. Each pack will contain 3 cards, including one holo card. Last year was the Cosmo foil. We don't know exactly when, but typically they release at the end of the month of August or maybe like early September on the Pokemon Center website. And usually you can find these pretty easily and throughout time. For like Costco, I've seen it at Sam's Club,
Yep.
Walmart, stuff like that. These big box retailers, because they don't fly off the shelves like really any other thing. And these are also, if you are a collector yourself, like me and my girlfriend, we buy one of these every single year. And we both have a complete set of every single one of the Pokemon from these 35 packs. So that's really cool, in my opinion, especially if you got like young kids and stuff like that. This is a really good option because it's retailed for 15 bucks.
Yeah. And you get 35 packs to open. So like you can spread that out over time. Like I think yeah, this is great for kids. And also, I don't know, if you're playing a specific deck, they usually put in there at least 1 or 2 cards that are like, playable-ish, like the Mimikyu,
Yeah,
I
because
think.
they usually put in like these kind of ghost type Pokemon or these kind of more spooky Pokemon
Mhm.
in a sense. So like I talked about Monkey Dory having one in the previous year. I also have a Flutter Mane that has the ability on there, and you talk about the Mimikyu, right, with that wall ability safeguard, which is another one of those. So it's going to be cool, but I'm hoping, fingers crossed, and this may be just Doom's mindset, that if we do get exclusive cards in there, they are not a way for this to be like scalp to all heck. Because this is like the only product ever to not be scalped in the Pokemon community. This and like Battle Academy.
Yeah. Can you
Um,
imagine somebody scalping bat? That's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, you never know, and I wouldn't put it past them because those people are crazy. So my hope is that there's like, although I would love seeing like illustration rares in these, because I think that would be really cool and
Mhm.
be like a really cool collection piece. I'd be a little fearful of it, but if they keep the theme of like each one of these bags gives you like two two sets,
Mhm.
two of each card that you can get in there. In theory, if they put something like an illustration rare in there, you're probably going to get at least one. So is there really like there might be like value in trying to resell it, I guess, but my hope is that there's nothing crazy and that these are very accessible.
It may also just be new art, like on a
Yeah.
regular cardboarder of like maybe they have Pikachu in an actual pumpkin costume or something, right? Like
That would be crazy because they haven't put Pikachu in a costume since the Japan Poncho series, I believe.
so I mean,
And those, I don't know if you've looked at the
no,
prices on those, but those are crazy.
true. I don't think this would be the same, but I do
Yeah.
think that in my mind, like that might be what they mean by exclusive as well. Is like, I don't know if they're gonna print like mechanically unique cards in this trick or trade
Yeah.
set. Like, how would you even write that down of like on your sheet for League Cups, like trick or trade 2025 registration mark.
I mean, they'd have to have a code
Yeah.
of some sort, right? Or whatever. So I don't
But
know.
actually, I guess if they do have unique art, they also would have to have a code for that.
Yeah.
Because with Pokemon, you have to have. Anyways, we'll see. We'll see.
It'll be fun, and I'll definitely be getting these. And I'll try to post also in the Metapod Discord server as well when these go up, when I see it for all of you, because I know we got a lot of parents in there uh, that listen to the Metapod. So if you want to join the Discord to know when that drops, feel free to hit the show notes or the description on the YouTube side, where a link to the Discord server will be there.
Yep. Uh, And that's it for us, Jake.
Yeah. That's it for me and Sean. Thank you so much for listening. I'll be competing in a box tournament on Wednesday. So for a box of the mega set,
Oh, that's
I think
cool.
it's a free box tournament. I was told. So I'm just gonna go try and try the Gardevoir deck again and see what happens. But anyways, thanks for listening. I'm Jake. That's Sean. And thanks for listening to the Meta Podcast, Pokemon podcast that revolves around the evolving meta.